Right, as you've already seen part of this in the earlier on, I'm just going to kind of do bits and pieces for this one, this kit build, just so you're not sat there bored. So I'm just going to add a bit of solder now to the board. We're just going to do the capacitor. So first of all, let's do a squidge of solder on there. There we go. And bring our heater in. Might be a little bit too much solder there by the looks of things, but right, let's pop the capacitor on there. Right, sticking to the tweezers again. Let's see if we can just ease that off. There we go. Okay, so let's get the heat on that. So I'm just going to warm up the board slightly, just so it's not shocked when I just apply the heat to one area. Okay, so there we go. Okay, that's great. That's just a little wonky. Let's just see if we can just straighten that up slightly. There we go. Okay, so that's that one done. Now the other one is a little bit further down the board, which is down here. So I'm just going to turn the board round. Right, the board's turned round. So let's get our blow of solder, put it on there. There we go. Pick up our little capacitor. Drop it on there. There we go. Right, let's heat that up. And when it goes shiny, you know it's worked. There we go. I've got a little blob of solder on the, where's my screwdriver gone, circuit board. So let's see if we can just get rid of that. There we go, let's get rid of that. Okay, so that's that one done. So now we need the two resistors. Right, I've just unpacked the 10K, so let's get that one soldered on. So don't forget, all I'm doing at the moment, I'm just doing the one side every time. There we go. And it's going silver, and there it goes. Again, it's just a little wonky, so let's see if we can just straighten that up. There we go. So now we've got the 2K, so let's get that one in. Just take it out of the wrapping. You need nails to do this, by the way, because
you're very tight.
This has been a bit awkward to peel. Let's see if we can just grab that with the pincers. There we go. Okay, so let's move the circuit board because it's pinged underneath. That's the trouble working with these such small stuff. If they ping off, they can go anywhere. Right, okay, so rubber solder, and as you see, and I've said before earlier on, you just need a small dab of solder. You don't need a lot. Put that in place. Right, and there it goes. Okay, so what I've done now is I've only soldered one side, and as an experiment for this circuit board, what I'm going to do now is using traditional soldering iron to solder the other side. Right, so I've turned the circuit board round now, and we'll get our solder. And we're just going to put a dab of solder just to the side of that capacitor. There we go. Now, what I'm also going to do is again just heat up and put a dab of solder this side. And this is why I'm doing it differently this time, because I want to see if just holding the component with the other solder, the liquid solder if you like, and then soldering it traditionally makes it any difference. So that's that one done. And while we're here, we're going to very quickly, if that's in focus, just do the others. Right, just cleaning the end of the soldering iron, so let's pop a bit of solder on. And I'll tell you what I haven't done. I haven't put any flux on it. That's what I haven't done, because the flux is in the other solder, but it's not with this one. So let me just put a dab of flux on these. That's my fault. Right, try that again. Again, I'm just adding just a dab of solder on the side that we used with the heat gun, just to add that extra bit of solder, and again just to see if it's any good, any worse. I don't know, it's a bit of an experiment. So the next job we need to do is the 555 timer, which goes on just there. If you have a look, there's a little indent just on the markings there on the board that actually refers to pin 1. And I said this previously, on this there's a little dot, and so that goes on the circuit board that way around. So the dot is in line with the little cutout. So let's do the same with this. So what we're going to do with this one is we're just going to use the solder paste just on one leg, just to hold it into place, and hopefully we can then solder the other ones with the traditional soldering iron. So I've got my heat gun ready. It's just coming up to temperature now, which I'm using about 300 at the moment. So let's pop the IC in place. Just there. Okay, here we go. So it might actually get both the legs there because it's moved a bit. Let's see what happens. Okay, so it's only gone onto one leg, that's good. Right, there we go. So put that away and I'll turn the soldering iron on. So that's quite good actually. That's yeah, that's just gone onto one leg. So what we'll now do, now that's in place, is we'll use the soldering iron and the solder. So let's grab my solder. And we'll also add a bit of flux on this because we're using a traditional soldering iron. So let's get a bit of flux. There we go. Right, so we're going to use our soldering iron to see if we can get the other legs done. So here we go. Okay, so we've got a little bit of a join there. Let's see if we can just get rid of that. Nope, doesn't want to come off. Right, okay, so what we need, let's get a desoldering pump. Let's just see if we can get rid of that. There we go. Okay, so that's not too bad. That's got solder on all those legs. Right, we'll just turn it round and get the other side done. Right, first thing we'll do is add a bit of flux onto the legs. There we go. Right, solder in hand. Let's see if we can get these done. Yeah, just like before, we've got a couple of bridges there. Okay, let's get this desoldering pump again. There we go, that's got those done. Well, that wasn't too bad. I think using the heat gun was actually slightly better than that, but we'll clean that up in a minute and have a look. So next one we need to do is the main chip that goes here. Right, hope you can see that all right. Just straighten it up a bit, there we go. Okay, so let's get this one done there. So same again, I'm just going to put a little blob of solder paste on one of the legs. And I'm going to do another little blob at the other end as well, only because this is a bigger IC, and actually that's a big bit of, sorry, that's a big bit of solder that just come out. Let me just clean that off. I do that again. Right, I don't quite want as much as that. Remember, just a little bit of solder paste you need on this. You don't need a lot. There, he says, putting a big dollop on. There we go. Right, okay, so let's get the heat gun on the go. And we'll drop our IC on. Okay, here we go then. Let's get this going. Okay, that's that one done. Let's go down the other end. Okay, that's got that bit done. Great. Switch that off and flick over to the soldering iron, and then we can have a go with the solder on the other legs. Hopefully not going to get a bridge like we did last time. I'll tell you what I haven't done, I haven't put any flux on it, have I? Okay, well, it seems to be going on alright. That's okay, so I don't have any bridges this time, which is good. He says. There we go, that's better. So, we might have one at the end there. Let's just see if we can clear that off. There we go. Okay, so that's got that one then. Let's turn the board round. Now, I don't know if you can see that, but it has slightly moved. Let's see if you can zoom in. You can see that the legs aren't quite on the pads, but I think I don't know. No, I was going to say I think they should be all right, but I don't think so. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use the heat gun to warm up the solder on this side and see if I can move it just ever so slightly. Right, just going to let that cool down and then we'll have a look. Right, okay, so that's cooled down now. I don't think that's too bad actually. The legs now seem to be on the pads this side okay. I might have a bridge down there, so I might have a look at that later on. So let's see if we can solder these legs using a traditional soldering iron. Right, before I do that, of course, before I forget, let's stick a bit of flux on there. Right, here we go. Okay, not too bad, didn't get any bridges this time, so that should be okay. Right, next job we've got to do is the resistors. I didn't realise the video wasn't working when I started this, so apologies. I've just sold that one resistor there, and I'm just doing this one here now. I'll catch up in a minute. Okay, that's them too. Right, apologies, the video stopped. So what I've done is I've soldered that resistor there one side and that resistor there one side using the solder paste. And what I'll do now is bring the normal soldering iron in, and we'll very quickly just solder the other side of those. Just waiting for a soldering iron to come up to temperature. Right, here we go. Brilliant, so that's got them done. So for the benefit of videoing, which again apologies, my video wasn't on, so let's just do one more very quickly. Dab of paste, get a resistor out the pack, pick it up with the pincers, there we go. Heat gun. Again, that's gone a little bit wonky. Let's see if we can just straighten that up a bit. There. Okay, so that's that one done, and we'll give it a dab of traditional solder, or not traditional solder, using a traditional soldering iron, that's what I meant to say. There. Right, so next thing we'll do, or next thing I'll do, is the rest of the resistors in exactly the same way. I won't record it because you've seen it before, and I'll come back to you in a minute. Right, all the resistors are now in. Solder those exactly the same way. So next thing I'll do is the LEDs, which are here, and the variable resistor, which is there. You've seen these done in a previous board that I made, which is that one here. So I'll do that off camera. Right, okay, so that's got all the LEDs done. Across here we've put the variable resistor on, and we put the power connection on as well. That's everything on the circuit board now. So let's connect it up, see what happens. And we're going to use black for positive and white for ground. Okay, and the positive cable, we're using about 5 volts for this. Right, okay, let's power up and see what happens. Not a lot. Okay, so we've got one LED lit. I'm just tapping the components to see if there's a loose connection anywhere. So nothing there so far. Oh, aha. So if I put a little bit of pressure on that IC, it works. Just take it off there. Right, so if I put pressure this end, it doesn't make a difference. If I pressure this end, it does. Or is it in the middle? Yeah, feels more like the middle. Right, so it looks like there's a leg that's not quite soldered. And I don't know if you can see this or not. Let's see if I can zoom in. It looks like that one there. There we go. So let's disconnect that. Okay, soldering irons on. Right, I'm not sure if that will do it, so let's have a look. Power on. There we go. Okay, so we had one of the legs hasn't quite soldered right. So there we go. We have 2 circuit boards, both done. So one was done using just the heat gun, and one was done using the heat gun and the soldering iron to see which was the easiest. And to be honest with you, I think they were both about the same. to use the heat gun is quite good actually. I love the way that it just sort of sucks the solder into the pad. I'm going to have to clean this a bit. It's got a load of flux all over the board over there as well, but generally that isn't too bad. So all that work really is just a tester to get me ready for this kit, because this has got some onboard components on. So join me again soon, hope that's okay. Well, I hope you enjoyed watching me build these two kits up with views in various ways. I must also say that there's another YouTube channel called My Mate Vince, and I'll do a link of it down below. He's got a video on using the heat gun as well, and he goes into far more depth than I do, so have a look at that as well. And I hope you enjoyed watching my video. Join me again soon. Please subscribe and please give me a thumbs up.